Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Magic the Gathering. Schools of scholars screaming skeletons.
Rob, are you okay?
He really has a hard time with this opening thing.
When I do, I always had trouble with that thing that they made you do in school, where you had to do where they say a word. What is it? Word association.
Yeah.
Where it's like they say a word and they say another word. I would always fucking panic and be like, school bus. I don't know. I don't know. Red is. Am I dead now? What do I do now?
The bomb game, the word game that we play, I have that problem with that.
Oh, bomb party.
Bomb party. Like, I can't think of words under pressure usually, but for some reason I can think of alliteratory ones.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe they should make a bomb party with alliteration.
I'd probably do better, and then maybe I'd be Northern Lion one of these days. Who knows?
Bomb party's
ready
pretty
now.
fun, that game.
I like the idea of it. I'm just not good at it. It makes me panic.
I enjoy it. It's a good time.
Word association makes me panic every time. Yep, yeah, cool. The controller glitch has remained. Wonderful days.
What's it doing?
It's basically it's not that big of a deal.
You like can't decide if you're using your keyboard, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Oh fuck, my mulligan did not pay off. Alright, I'm gonna hope for the best.
They grow inside.
Do they?
Yeah, Isaac can't stop thinking about it. I'm sorry.
I know what you mean. I'm gonna record some after this.
No.
Yep, it's happening. Alright, I lost.
Dude, I just found out Little Big Planet 3 comes out next week, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I can't play any more hours of other games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah. Also, GTA 4 is coming, or 5? What are we up to? 5. Is also coming out on PS4 and Xbox One.
Is it? And it's still not coming out on PC, huh?
Not until January.
Oh, man. That's so weird.
They really want you to buy it 3 times.
Yeah, they really do.
I don't know what to even do, though, because there's a very high chance that it's going to be terribly optimized, like every fucking game that comes out now. So, if that's the opportunity that we're going to be presented come January, I might just buy it for PS4 now.
Yeah, but then you're going to buy it again on PC.
But I don't know that.
Well, people are going to want to play it, though, because they got that online stuff.
I know, I'm just saying that in both directions, there's one thing pulling me and telling me, don't do this. So I don't know what the proper decision is. I really don't want to spend fucking $150 on this game over the course of 3 purchases. That's really dumb. I mean, you could almost get Assassin's Creed Unity and all of the DLC for that much.
You've already played it on the lesser consoles, right?
I played it for about 10 hours. I didn't get that far into it because I knew at that point the game had terrible frame rates and I didn't want to continue to go down that path and get invested in the game. Because I wanted to leave some of it to still discover later when it, could be played better.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say you should just wait for a Steam sale, but I guess...
Yeah, it's a long time away, but also I don't really want more games if it's coming out next week, so, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Why'd you put that guy in your graveyard?
Because I have too many cards in my hand. Basically, I lost the game, yeah.
Okay.
pretty much lost.
I was like, did Nick do something to you?
No, Rob, you should have said it's an advanced strat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it is actually a secret strat that I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna play any of the lands in my hand that I currently have. Yeah, and then trip you guys out when I have like 8 million lands on one turn card.
You have that artifact that lets you play as many lands in one turn as you want.
Right. Exactly.
And you're just gonna bust them all down in one shot and then just steamroll us both.
Imagine how OP that would be if that was a thing. It's like
it might be a thing. I don't know.
It could be. It seems like a magic-y type of thing. What is this? Just a 2/5. Intriguing. Yeah, I lost. Lost the game.
I wanted to attack. Oh, this guy's a defender. Duh.
Yeah, you can't attack.
Nope.
I lost the game.
Oh, I lost the game as well then.
Did you?
Well, that's how it goes when
you
somebody
guys
says
remember
that.
what happened last time Austin lost the game?
That's a good point.
You won the game.
You won the game.
He won the lost game. Yeah, but there's no Vizcopa Guildmage this time. So,
Is that a blue deck?
Huh?
Is that a pure blue deck, or are you?
No,
you're not
no,
it's
it's a green card. It's green blue deck. That's exactly why I'm fucked right now. Yeah. Well, see, because my first hand had like 5 lands and 2 other cards, so I was like, all right, I'll mulligan. And then my second hand had 2 blue lands and all green cards, and it's like, well, all right, well, I guess I'm fucked. I should have mulliganed again, probably, but
Oh, it's that card.
Yeah, familiar, right?
Yeah.
he's a hammerhead shark, like that guy from that show, Street Sharks.
The Hammerhead, you mean? Hammerhead the Street Shark.
Was that his name?
It's
I don't
like
doubt it.
Ninja Turtles 2.0
He's from
or
the
some
streets.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just hit me for 2.
That's nice
I'm
of you.
doing it.
That's very nice of you, Nick.
So do you guys want to talk about the whole Assassin's Creed thing?
Holy hell, I won.
Yeah, you won.
I won, essentially.
Congrats.
Thanks.
I liked it better when you lost.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good.
So yes, no, maybe on that?
What, the Assassin's Creed? Yeah, by all means. Sorry, I was I'm very elated about my victory
No, I know.
that is coming.
It's pretty much the way it goes every single time.
Yeah.
Ask a question, get
Yeah,
completely
Assassin's
ignored, and then ask it again.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed put out 3 Assassin's Creed games on one day.
That's not even the controversy. The controversy
Oh, no.
is that the main one doesn't work very well, hardly at all. Also had $99 DLC and a 12-hour post-delayed embargo date.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was
Good.
just. I saw a really good tweet that was that this Assassin's Creed is actually just a parody of modern AAA games because of all the shit they're doing wrong. Like they're taking every single shitty thing they can do, just like yeah, we'll throw that on there. DLC on a $60 game, whatever. Or not DLC, but microtransactions on a 60-hour game.
God.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the Season Pass and DLC yet. That I'm sure will be a thing, too.
Yeah, this is just, you can buy Creed points to...
Oh, and you need a mobile
listen to
app to
Creed
open
songs.
some of the chests. There's a companion app for
that
this.
too. It's just like everything. Just like, oh, you don't own an iPhone? Fuck you.
Do they also have, like, energy? Like, you can only play the game for an hour, and then you have to unlock more energy by buying $2 worth of energy to play for another hour?
I'm not aware of that trope, but
I
maybe
hope
it's
not.
deep inside the game somehow. Maybe
That's
there's, like, you open a homestead, and, like, you can only talk to your people in the homestead every 6 hours.
And in order to actually, like, get the next weapon, you have to invite your friends to like on Facebook.
Right. That
That's
would be the
fantastic.
Farmville approach.
Oh, God. Assassin's Creed. What have you done?
It's so wrecked. I'm really worried about the new Far Cry if they're going to make this shit the norm. I mean, Ubisoft's apparently become the new EA at this point.
Yeah, they totally are. It's very sad. It's very sad because that series was so good. For a short time, that series was actually really good. And then they fucked it.
We actually have had talks about Assassin's Creed at least once, if not twice before, but I wonder what prompted them the other times, because we didn't have this news before.
Well, I think it's the same kind of thing where it's sort of like you know, kind of how I feel about Nintendo, where it's like, this is really good. Why did you fuck it up by doing all this shitty stuff? Like, it was so good. You were doing something really good, and then it's not good anymore.
Is only a game why you have to be mad.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna. I got so burned on 3 that I was like, I'm never touching Assassin's Creed ever again. So,
I don't know how you can justify though charging $60 for a game and then having a $100 microtransaction in it.
Yeah, that's
especially when the game doesn't fucking work for about 70% of the people that bought it.
Well, generally that seems to be the thing when they have those kind of DLC is that the game doesn't work because they probably spent all that time working on the
sure that
monetization
part
infrastructure, to make sure they could get their money properly. Yeah, I know. I was watching. I watched just like 5 minutes of someone stream it, and they were trying to do the co-op, and they couldn't complete the mission. What is this? Oh.
I'm sorry, Rob. I can't let that happen.
That's fine.
You're not gonna get infinite fucking 1-1 counters on that thing.
Yeah. Well, you probably should have killed the whatchamacallit, the advocate of the. Well, I guess that wouldn't work with.
I couldn't. Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Actually, hold on. I need to read what this card does because I have no idea. Okay.
Ooh.
Do this here. And that should work, yeah. Okay, it did work. Good.
Well, we're all sharing cards here, apparently.
Yeah, we're a card-sharing team. Card sharing.
Yeah, we all have green.
Yep. Green is the color that unites us.
I used pretty much every single green card that the game has given me in this deck. Like, I wanted to make a green-black, but I didn't realize how few green cards I actually had.
I think if anyone should have green cards, it should be you, man.
Right. That's true. You're a green man.
Yeah, I'd better pay for the...
Yeah, the $99 DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was I saying before I stopped talking? You guys remember?
Nope.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, it probably wasn't important then. But yeah, no. It's just. I loved that series. I loved it. And then they stole it from me. They took it away. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. It had such great potential. And then they just did a bunch of shitty things. Oh, it's the Titan Man.
Ooh. Wow.
The only positive, though, of this is that they made such a crazy farce out of the whole thing that, like, maybe people are starting to actually become aware how badly they're being built out of money. And maybe we can start to move in the opposite direction now.
I doubt it. It probably sold really well.
Yeah, I bet it did.
I'm sure the $99 thing also sold pretty well, too. Actually, I remember what I was saying. So I was watching 5 minutes of a stream of this guy playing the Assassin's Creed, the Unity. He tried to do the multiplayer, and it looks like he actually got connected to people just fine, and the VoIP was working just fine. But the problem was the mission just didn't work. You had to kill multiple targets, and they tried to kill one target, and then he had this fake indicator that said, like, oh, there's a target right here, and there totally wasn't a target right there. And then they tried to chase the other guy who was match made with his target, and then they finally got there after like 5 minutes of running through Paris, and it wasn't working either. And he was like, is this mission just bugged? And the chat was like, no, everything in co-op is bugged. Like, you can't play any of the missions. It's like, well, how did they release that? How the fuck did they release that?
They needed to make the holiday release that badly that they just said, fuck the game, it doesn't need to work, we just need to put it on the shelf.
Yeah, I guess so.
The stealth doesn't work either, you know, like, you can clip through dudes when you fall down off of roofs and stuff, like, you can land on a guard and you'll pass right through them, and they don't become aware of you. Also, sometimes they'll just lose you. If they're standing directly in front of you, they'll just lose your track. Which, for a game that's supposed to be a stealth game, you know, being assassin, that's kind of important that the assassination and stealth part work.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, I'd say.
Especially when the rest of the game is essentially exactly the same formula as every other one, minus some of the more original content that was brought forth in 4. You know, they got rid of the boating and all of that shit, which is the one thing that felt like a breath of fresh air, and instead of capitalizing on that, they actually went to the more formulaic approach again from 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
And they removed your ability to climb trees that you had in 3, so they've actually gone 2 steps back.
You can't climb the trees anymore?
No, I saw him try to climb a tree, just bounces off of it, and he's like, can't do that.
What?
So he can scale sheer walls, but not trees, the thing with the natural handholds.
Okay.
Tell me if you can understand that shit.
You know, well, I can tell you exactly how I understand that. That's going to be released as DLC. Tree climbing DLC and then also boating DLC. You could boat around Paris.
The boating could be possible. I don't think they're going to make tree climbing DLC, though.
It'd be really funny, though. Oh, man. Yeah, that's Ubisoft.
How do you fuck up that badly, though? Seriously,
I don't know.
The worst.
Well, you know what? The how they fuck up that badly is because they're not being punished for it at all. Like, I'm sure it sold really well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I don't
I'm
think
wrong.
so. I think this
wrong.
is the turning point, I believe.
I hope so. I hope you're right. I absolutely hope that you're right.
When we have games like Binding of Isaac outselling AAA games, that actually tells me a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that Call of Duty wasn't even the #1 game on the Steam store, wasn't it like Five Nights at Freddy's 2 or something?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't believe that there's a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 already.
Everybody keeps saying that, but I keep reminding them, have you seen what the gameplay is in Five Nights at Freddy 1? It's like just a static room with barely any animation and a little bit of voice work. And if it follows that same formula, like, how much do you really have to do to it? You just change the story a little bit and it's there. Got the engine already.
Oof.
True that.
Did you just switch that dude out? What just happened there?
I switched to Rue. There's no more Rues.
I don't care.
You switched them all.
Yeah, I switched all those Rues out. No more of them. All the Rues are gone. I like to make a roux when I make my mac and cheese. I'm actually fucking terrible at making roux.
Oh,
and
the R-A-U-X or R-U-X?
Yeah, I think it's R-O-U-X.
Or,
yeah.
Whatever. However you spell it. Ruse.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. You gotta make the roux, and I'm really awful at it because I tend to just make it like this boogery consistency.
Gross.
Yeah, it's really nasty.
Yeah, that
It's-
doesn't sound good at all.
It's not good. It's really bad, actually. It's very, very much not enjoyable, I'd say. So,
Well, Rob, I think we lost.
yeah, you might be right there, actually.
Like, there's nothing I can do about this right now, except for this.
He probably has that one card that makes it, that makes all the things suck dicks.
What the hell's
Oh, I
Intimidate?
love that card.
Intimidate.
You can
yeah.
Well,
you
only
can only
should
block
share
it if
color?
it's the same color or
The
if
hell
it's
is that
an
bullshit? I've never
artifact.
even heard of that before until just now. Intimidate.
I'm gonna fucking poke you with it.
Get out of here. I will not tolerate this craziness.
Unfortunately, I have to inefficiently use a card, I think.
Oh, Rob.
I know.
Think of the commenters.
Yeah, think of the commenters, man. You're gonna break their hearts.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to use that card inefficiently.
I thought you were gonna steal my intimidate, dude.
No.
What are you
no.
doing?
I stole your Advocate of the Beast.
Yeah, that was probably a good call.
Yeah, that thing's
That's
gonna
That's
get...
inefficient, man. That's so inefficient.
It is very inefficient.
Give
That
it back.
That thing's gonna get so
And
out
they'll
of
forgive
hand
you.
so quickly. Yeah. You're probably right.
It's not too late. They'll still forgive you. You have until the end of your turn.
Yeah. Oh, Ubisoft.
How many times did you just say yeah in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's that they got that new game coming out too, The Division, which looks pretty good.
Based
or at
on
least
footage that is probably
Right.
not real.
Yeah, it's like, remember
Exactly.
how good Watch Dogs looked.
I know, yeah. I remember actually the first E3 that they showed The Division, it was like, oh, that looks really good. And then they showed it the next E3, which is, the most recent E3, and it's like, why does that look considerably worse? Like, they added in numbers popping off of people, like it's Borderlands or something. And then, like, the graphics actually looked kind of worse. And it's just like, what did you do? What did you do?
What did you do?
You gotta rub their nose in it.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're gonna look even worse when it comes out. Oh snap!
What did you do?
What did you do? Oh, what did you do?
Who's a boo-boo?
Yeah. Oh snap! Shit just got real up in here.
Why me?
Because you're gonna poke me every turn. I can't stop you.
You have been poking him a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you both
I
can
have.
poke me, honestly, but you've been the one that proved that you will.
I mean, I didn't poke you at all, actually.
I know, that's why you're not
being.
being attacked right now.
I thought you had
Oh, thank
reach. You can kill those birds. Don't you have reach
Do
somewhere?
I have reach?
Oh no, he took your reach, dude.
Yeah, I don't have shit,
Yeah,
man.
he's the one who's taking all your shit.
I only took the one. I took another thing from Green,
Oh,
I think.
man. Okay. Well, I guess I do this.
You know, the other thing that people forget about when they leave comments is there's a diplomacy element in this.
There's absolutely.
And whether
Yeah.
or not it makes sense all the time to make the moves we have been making, we encourage the diplomacy. It makes the match more fun.
And the diplomacy is actually totally fucking necessary too, because like if you go all in, you're fucking dead pretty much.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, if you ever played a game of poker, I mean, you got to bluff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the true
fucking
game. That's the core of the game, is who can manipulate each other as well as the cards to come out the victor.
Yeah.
And people just look at it like it's just the cards. It's never that simple.
Oh no.
My buddy's going to come to my rescue. No more poking for you.
No, I like this
No.
guy.
Never mind.
Oh.
Thanks, man.
I was looking at something.
Oh, that's what you do. You just stop
Okay.
attack damage
Just
in the middle of
completely
someone else's
stop the
turn.
entire game.
Oh, I just
Well,
needed to
I-
read that card.
I had a thing that I could have done.
I want to read that.
Want to read that, Dad?
Yeah, you don't want to stop me from killing Nick. I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And then I'll poke you to death too.
Yeah, it's true.
You guys don't have black cards. Do you guys have artifact creatures at all?
Not really, no.
Nope.
Well,
You's looking to get poked.
Got a big old poker for you, buddy.
Used to put
I
it in
didn't
the
expect when I
fireplace.
added that card for it to carry my deck.
Yeah.
By the way, I should mention I just built this deck just now before we started this because I wanted something different. Yep, and to do it, I basically put every green card I had because that was my only option.
I actually really value that you took the time to make another deck because there's a few people that don't really ever make new decks. But I guess I have to be thankful there's no more lava giants anymore.
Oh, me? I have used 4 decks in this series. Austin's used 1.
The meta joke is that we all just beat up on Rob for some reason when he didn't really.
Yeah,
do
I know.
it.
It's the fucking Inferno Titan, man. I want to get my Inferno Titan back. I miss that card.
I don't at
So
all.
strong. Yeah. Mistress.
Oh, not this shit again! No. Oh fuck. Oh, it's only 9 damage that I have to actually eat, I guess. I wish I had
damage.
I have kill creature cards in this deck, but I haven't found them yet.
One of those two is hexproof, so
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
I did
But
that
that
intentionally.
that one I can just fucking block with anything. Like this
Yeah, I
guy.
recommend that you do block it with anything,
Yeah.
including that guy. You want to block
But
that guy.
the trample is the problem.
Want to block that, Dad. Do.
Do. Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Fucked now.
Lifelink! Oh, shit!
Oh
Shit just
no!
got-
Get all
I've
that
seen
life
how
back.
this always goes.
Hmm.
See, I felt so powerful before, but basically just Rob took everything, and then like my shit falls apart. My ability to get better just gets diffused.
Oh, snap!
So
He's
you
got
think you're
one.
the only one? You think you're the only one with that card in your deck, huh, Nick?
I didn't think so. You said you put all the green cards in it, so I figured it was in there.
Oh, snap.
Why do you do this, Rob?
It's nothing. You don't have
Oh, okay. You just fucking play a creature in the middle of my attack for no
Yeah.
reason.
Well, it's a flash card, so like it won't
Yeah,
have
just
summoning
why not?
skills when it
You
comes
gotta
to
do
my
it. You gotta do
turn.
it flashy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gotta be all flashy and mean.
It's a dramatic moment. It's like, wait,
Yeah.
I have a creature to play.
I guess if I kill everything I have, I could live by 1 point of damage, but do I really want to live like that?
Do I really want to live in that world?
Oh wait, Rob's just gonna kill me after this. I
Yeah.
think.
He's actually going to kill both of us, most likely.
Yeah. Well, can he though?
He has a
Let's see.
9/9, and you're mostly tapped out.
Yeah, but I have lifelink.
I don't really need the 9/9, and plus, actually, you don't have lifelink.
No, wait, no.
It's tapped.
Please.
Rob
No.
wins!
No. All right.
See, this is what happens when we get too embroiled in our own personal disputes and don't think about the whole landscape.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what happens. Yeah,
I thought I had enough to block Rob, but okay. Let's
I
see
can
here.
fly.
And that's also why we never attack each other, even at times when we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
You need to leave those blockers there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what tends to happen. Yeah, this is generally what happens when two people
Why
fight.
Why didn't I get a block step?
Because the things that I attacked you with were all flying, which is
You
actually
attacked
why.
the 9/9 dude, didn't you?
No, I attacked Nick with the 9/9.
Oh, okay.
I had
You needed to.
I had exactly 8 damage to kill you with. Like I just needed you to be at 8 health, and that killed you because that's actually why I played that flash card on my turn, so that it wouldn't have summoning sickness. I played the flash card on your turn, so it wouldn't have summoning sickness on mine, so that I could attack you and kill you.
Okay.
So, yeah, magic.
Magic.
Foresight.
2015.
That's why you
Sometimes
never
that
attack anybody ever in Magic.
Exactly. That's why Ohm's Race happens.
Ever.
This is exactly why Ohm's Race
Our
happens.
whole series has just been us justifying the things we do.
I know.
Yeah, because people get so mad. I'm
People get
sure,
salty.
I'm 100% sure that most of the commenters don't play 3 or 4 player Magic.
Right.
Yeah.
They only play 2 player. I'm sure they're really fucking good, at 2-player Magic, but it's just such a different game.
Well, this is where they're going to call you out now and say that they've spent the last 25 years playing nothing but 3-player Magic at all times.
I said most. If you're that guy, then I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah,
well, they've just taken offense.
I've covered my bases.
You can't.
Yeah.
I did.
It was still a good game, though.
Yeah, it was
There
fine.
was some shit that happened. I stole 2 of your creatures, Nick.
I wish I got to keep my giant, because I could have probably lived a little longer that way.
Yeah,
I
know you probably could.
I want it.
You should put it in your deck. It's pretty good, actually. I
I want it. I don't have it.
Oh yeah, you gotta buy the complete edition. You gotta buy all the DLC.
I had to go and
It's not a big deal.
fight more dudes.
Yeah.
I feel like there's all these discrete different phases of how Magic seems to go, and there was like the Sliver period, and like the Mana Rushdown period, and the Elf period, and now we seem to be in the steal everybody else's creatures period, which is just kind of cheap and shitty.
Yeah, that's what this version 2015 has a lot of, though.
It seems to be emphasizing. That's what I mean by the saying it's like an era of that.
Yeah. It's for some reason it emphasizes stealing the creatures, which is weird because it is kind of a bit shitty because it kind of makes any big creatures that exist kind of boring. Like Switcheroo is kind of stupid. Like that's kind of a stupid card. I could just take your card. I just fucking take your card. Like you get my 1/1 big whoop. Like I can just take it. This is mine forever.
I wonder if they've even considered the balance of how that works in multiplayer, and if it was maybe a conscious decision that they made as the player would be fighting in the single-player campaign. They didn't provide you enough strong creatures, they gave them all to the CPU only, and they expect you to steal them from the CPU and use them against them.
I have noticed that I have very few high-cost, high-power creatures.
Yeah, they've given you like less than 10 probably in the whole thing.
No, there are just very few in the game. Believe me, I have every card unlocked, and when I've tried to make, I tried to build like a big stompy green deck because that's traditionally how green plays, right?
Yeah.
And there really aren't that many big stompy green cards, unfortunately. Like, and it's kind of lame. Okay, there is Terra Stomper, which admittedly, is big and stompy. Yeah. but no, like it's kind of they give you such limited options that they really want you to make the decks that they have made before. They just jumbled them up and let you make them for yourself. And the room for creativity is very limited, unfortunately.
They also give you so few cards. I think they really want to emphasize multi-deck construction, multi-color deck construction, and that's really kind of annoying because you don't always want to play a multi-colored deck.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of preferred to do straight red or white or green.
Me too, actually.
Yeah, in the previous games, I've always played straight up monocolor decks.
Yeah, I like single color decks too. I think they totally have their place. But yeah, no, actually, all of the deck templates that you can use are multicolor. There's no single color ones.
Yeah, and I don't think I have enough.
I thought there was a black. No? I thought there was a straight up black deck somewhere in there. No?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think I even have enough of a single color to make a deck. Yeah, like I tried for one encounter that was giving me trouble to make a pure black or a pure red deck to win against it, and I was just like, oh, I straight up don't have enough cards. It just says invalid deck.
They probably realized we went through all this trouble to give you gates. So like, since you can have dual lands, we're just gonna make sure all you can do is make multicolor decks.
Yeah. I think it's that these games are kind of treated as like an advertisement for the actual
well, people have been saying that for ages.
Yeah.
This is the beginner's Magic to get you into playing Magic the Gathering online, which then gets you into playing the paper game or vice versa.
Yeah.
And I have nothing wrong with the paper game, but like, it's 2014, man. Like,
I can't play that with you.
Yeah,
sadly.
Exactly. I want to play that. I want to play it online with my friends. You can give me that option, and I will fucking pay for it. I will. I've shown that I pay for it. But
don't get carried away, because what they want you to do is pay fucking retail value for whatever they decided the cards are worth for the digital cards in Magic the Gathering Online. And that's also bullshit. Why can't we just have a game that lets us play Magic for a normal price?
You know what was pretty cool, actually, was I remember the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Games back in the day. I never really played much Yu-Gi-Oh!, but, Game Boy Advance, bus rides, you got some shit to do. And the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games on the Game Boy, all Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are printed with, like, little numbers at the bottom. And
power and toughness.
Well, no,
Gotcha.
yeah, exactly. Not the power and toughness, but they're like there's like a little serial number on the bottom of every card, and so it was actually the card game was designed from the ground up to like help out the video game version of the card game, because you could just input those cards individually and you would just get them in your game, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
it's a
that's
cool
neat.
idea. Yeah, it was
Pretty progressive for GBA.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, it was a really cool
Barely
idea.
had the internet at that point.
Yeah, I wish Magic had something like that. That'd be
Yeah,
nice.
it's asking a lot, though.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is.
They'd have to go back and reprint the millions of cards out there to put serial numbers on them.
Yeah, that
Well,
would be.
they are constantly making new expansions. I think
Yeah,
they could
yeah.
just add it into the next one, but
And removing other cards from the games too, right? Like every new expansion that comes out, they remove a bunch of cards from like competitive
from the
play at
base
least.
set, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to follow. I mean, I've been watching the
Yeah,
Magic
wow.
series since fucking 4th edition, and that was in like the mid-90s, and
Right.
I don't even know what's in like the core set anymore. They've changed it so many times.
Yeah, they change a lot. Include a number based down.
The idea of having a game where like I own physical cards and having one of those cards patched out of the game is bizarre.
Hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of want it both ways, don't they? They want to
Yeah.
control what you do and also not really give you access to things, and also control how you play the game. There's a lot of limitations.
Mm. Yeah, it's weird. It's like a weird monetization method too, because it's like, it's kind of like
It's a funnel.
like they kind of have to do those things based on how they've set up the system already. And
Well, they don't have to. They could just decide to make this like the simulation game of Magic the way that we've wanted. They
Oh,
just
no,
would lose
I don't
out
mean
on
the
money
video.
that way.
I just mean the card. I mean the card game where they take cards out of the
Oh,
base set and all that. Like they kind of have to, because they have to release an expansion all the time, right? So that people stay interested. And
I wonder
But
if they
then-
do actually have to do that.
I think they do for balance sake. For,
Things would get out of control.
yeah,
They,
like
they have so many cards that are so powerful with so many other cards.
Right.
yeah,
That
like
if you continually add different cards with interesting overpowered abilities, then eventually you're just gonna have a deck where it's
Right.
like, okay, turn 2, I've won.
you're right. Exactly.
I used to think they were always driving towards this point of equilibrium where every new set that's released, they wanted to sort of make a better balanced game. But I think all that they really do is break it more so they can fix it in slower increments.
Yeah,
And eventually it just kind of sways completely out of control, and I don't know where we are anymore in that, but I don't even play the physical game, I just play this.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the way the physical game works.
yeah, me either. I don't really stay up on the meta of Magic. I just like playing it. Magic is Magic is like a really cool card game in that, like, I know a lot of people feel like it's really daunting to get into, because I've heard that from people when I've said, like, yeah, you should play Magic. But I really think out of a lot of these card games that exist now, really due to Magic usually. But because, I mean, the game's like the original trading card game, right? But
I'm sure someone will tell you it isn't, but I don't know.
well, yeah, but it's more or less really straightforward, you know?
Yeah.
It's like pretty much the cards tell you exactly what they do, except for really specific, nuanced interactions that happen sometimes. But for the most part, like, it's printed on the card exactly what it does, and it does it like by in layman's terms for the most part.
I
Except
have
for,
to,
like, some effects.
as much as I agree with you, I have to point out, and you said this already, but like the amount of times that we've had a game ended because we didn't understand phases and
Right.
turn order, that's not
Yeah.
straightforward as much as we wish it
Well,
was.
yeah,
The
that,
cards are
unfortunately,
straightforward. The turn progression is weird. Like,
Yeah.
that was the hardest part for me getting into it. Was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Wait, why can't I attack now? What's going on?
But to Rob's
I want to
point,
play this
though,
card.
everybody that I've introduced this game to that's actually given it an honest shot has been able to figure out how to play it in about one night.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It does. It really, I don't think, has a very high learning curve, as I think a lot of
No.
people think it does before going in. Just because it's
Well, it
daunting,
looks
because there's
intimidating.
so many cards and there's so much history behind
Well,
Magic the
You
Gathering.
have like
and
the
stuff.
way you put the cards down on the table. You have like certain areas for certain things. There's
Right,
an order
yeah.
to your turn. You need to know that. There's like all these little words that mean things that aren't necessarily in front of you. Having more info, by the way, in this game is like a really helpful thing for people learning the game.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, actually.
Yeah, that's the other. In the physical game, I can't imagine having to memorize what fucking like intimidate.
Yeah, they add so many of those little words all the time.
Yeah, they need to just say it on the card because, like, if I'm just playing against somebody in real life and I have this intimidate card, and I try to convince them, no, it just means you can't block it unless you have a black creature. They're gonna be like,
yeah, you make house rules. That's high school, man. That's what I did in high school. Half the game was the politics of convincing them that meant the thing you thought it meant, when they also didn't believe you, and then you'd have to look at the rule book and then have a fight about what you think that means on top of it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Except we would never take out the rule book because I don't think they came whenever
they came in every starter deck.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, we usually didn't check for things, because for the most part, I think we played, like, pretty much straight-up decks. Like, my friend played, like, a sliver deck, which he won every time, because slivers used to be super-duper OP. And then, you know, I would play the goblin deck, which I love. I've bought multiple goblin decks.
Goblin from way back.
I fucking love Goblin. I haven't had a true Goblin deck in 2 editions of this Duels of the Planeswalkers game, and I want it back so bad. I love Goblins so much. They're my favorite thing.
I want to know what you did with your hands when you just said, I want it back. Did you
knee.
clap? Oh,
I thought you were like a seal.
Yeah, I thought you were clapping to get, like, your hands together because you were so excited.
I'm a horse. Look, I can count. Yeah, no, I want goblins so bad. Because, like, this version has some goblins, and I've tried to make a goblin deck, but I can't make a pure goblin deck. I want to get back to my roots of only goblins.
One of the weirdest things to me, like, that I realized when we went from 2013 to 2014 was, like, holy shit, I had all these decks and cards that I liked, and they're all not existent in this game.
Right, yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself. No,
I want to the universe away.
I expected the new edition to keep all the same cards and add some more and have a new campaign. And then I went in and it was like, oh no, it's all these shitty pre-made decks that I hate.
It's like, imagine they made a new X-Men, and they were like X-Men 2.0, and it doesn't have Cyclops or Wolverine or Beast or Professor X or Magneto.
Dipshits that you don't recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird having to learn all of these new cards every edition and not being able to use the old one. Like, there are cards that I remember from previous editions that would be really good with my deck right now.
Yeah,
that I just can't have.
I know exactly what you mean.
And that's what I meant about the balance thing, that it feels like they're just trying to take it to some more broken level that they kind of incrementally sort of work on fixing, but not really.
Yeah. Right. It's so sad. So I wish there was, and a lot of people usually cite, Magic the Gathering Online as a thing, but the thing that I always go back to too is like, you know what? I like my games looking pretty, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And this game looks pretty, and I like it looking pretty. And Magic the Gathering Online does not look pretty. It's really ugly looking.
And what's the other alternative? Cockatrice? People have told us about that. That looks even worse, I think, than Magic the Gathering Online.
I haven't even seen that, but I imagine, it's...
It's sad that matters, but it really does change the usability of the game. I want to be able to tell what the hell's going on, and even this game isn't quite there all the way in that respect, but it's the closest we've got.
Yeah. And plus, I usually look at it under the lens of, like, a guy making YouTube videos about it, too. It's hard enough getting people to play... Yeah, it's hard enough getting people to play this game where you have to fucking unlock multiplayer.
Right.
Getting people to get into Magic the Gathering Online where you have all of the cards, they have to build their own deck and buy them individually through a really convoluted system as well. I don't know if you knew that, but there's like trading rooms. Like I've looked it up before to see if it's any good, and like apparently there's like Warcraft 3 custom map servers, right? It's like or like Diablo 2 servers, where they'd be like exactly trading this for this, blah blah blah, and it's like that's how you get cards, and it's like nobody has the fucking time for that.
LFT, they don't just Black have Lotus
store.
Yeah, it's like wait,
so
what?
Where did the cards come from?
Well, I think you can.
You can literally mail your cards to Wizards of the Coast, and they'll give you digital codes for them that you can redeem in the game.
Really? I
can't tell if you're kidding or not.
I'm not kidding. That's real.
Hilarious.
Oh, man.
Why would they even make a system like that? That requires so much more manpower for them.
Yeah,
they need
insane.
Because they really want to encourage this 1-to-1 ratio thing about the price of these cards. that they're
Yeah, I guess
intrinsically
so.
worth X, whether they come in this form or that form.
Yeah.
They just carry this value with them, and they want to
Can
make
you-
sure you get that.
Can you make Wizards of the Coast mail you a digital, like a physical
I
copy of one of
think
your digital
so,
cards?
actually, maybe.
Whoa. That's
Yeah, I think
crazy.
you might be able to do that. Yeah,
Holy
as well with
fuck.
Magic the Gathering Online. Yeah.
The amount of overhead they've put into that is insane.
No, that's I mean so much manpower and money they must have to spend on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they forcefully make sure this one isn't on the same level in terms of features, to make sure they're getting their money back out of that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
So they just need to abandon that whole thing, is really the only solution. Just
Yeah.
completely
Well, I'm
just
sure it
abandon
fucking works for them, though, is the problem.
If they make a comprehensive, they spend all their time doing like these legal battles. Like there's this game called Hex, right? Which is super duper clearly derivative of Magic. Like it's pretty much just Magic, except it's built from the ground up to be a video game, right? Now they have their own cards, they have their own stuff, but for the most part it works like Magic from what I've seen. I haven't played the game, but I from what I've seen, it's the same basic thing. Except they have like these different campaigns that you can do, and you can do it co-op with your friends, and you unlock cards, and you go through all these different events and stuff, and you level up your own individual character and stuff, and you can do, there's all this cool stuff that's been, you know, built from the ground up to be a video game that helps out the card game aspect of it. And so Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast looks at that. They look at Hex, and they say, and you know, they see this really cool, nuanced approach to how they can treat their Magic the Gathering series. And what they decide to do is they sue the shit out of them. That's what's happening right now.
How much do they own of the concept of a digital version of Magic the Gathering? Do they
I don't know,
own?
man.
Do they own the process of the way the turn order works? Do they own the power and toughness concept? Do they own the structure of the cards?
In court, I'm sure they're arguing that. Like it's sad too, because it's like, you know what? If Magic saw that and was like, hey guys, just throw out the rest of the shit and let's just put Magic cards in there and let's work together and we'll sponsor you and we'll make the game together, then it would be glorious. It would be good for both the consumer and Wizards of the Coast, because they've made a comprehensive Magic game from the ground up, built to be a video game that people can enjoy online. But instead, they see this innovation and they say, no, fuck
Well,
you.
it's an ego thing.
Can't exist. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not only an ego thing; it's they want to own
It's a copyright
everything.
thing,
They
yeah.
like they see something threatening what they've already done, and they're like, okay, we could spend a shitload of money to compete with those guys, or we could share our money with them, or we could just fuck them.
Yeah.
Still costs
And-
them money to take this down, even if that's the case.
Yeah, but they have like, in their budgets, they have a percentage of money tucked away for suing people that basically needs to be used every year, suing enough people. So that's essentially, I guess, what they're doing then. It's sad. I've even looked on like the Hex Twitter, and their Twitter is all about like, oh well, so this happened in the legal battle today and stuff over Hex, and it's like, oh man, that's so fucking sad, because it's like that game actually looked really cool, but it's probably fucked now because they're going to be in legal troubles forever with Wizards
Because
of the
they made a
Coast.
card game.
Yeah.
Great.
Frustrating.
Admittedly, it is like almost one-to-one Magic the Gathering, except with their own art and their own cards and stuff. But I mean,
Well, that's
like,
why I was asking how much they own of that concept.
right?
'cause
Exactly.
That does matter.
Yeah. That's like fucking Apple owning rounded squares, or like if Mario could sue every other platformer because Mario invented jumping over things. Like it's like a stupid idea, and it admittedly, yeah, that's how copyright law works today. And people tend to argue that is like, yeah, well, that's the law, that's how it is, and it's like, yeah, but it's still fucking dumb. Like, obviously that does not favor the consumer at all, and the whole point of capitalism is to favor the consumer. Best product on the market, right? But, you know.
I don't
copyright
understand
is a really weird case.
how we have a system that allows someone to copyright the concept or trademark the concept of rounded rectangles or anything of that level of absurdity.
It's
Why a
gotten
judge
worse
wouldn't
over
see that
years.
and go, hey, you're fucking ridiculous.
It's
Go
money.
home.
Lawyers, man, really good lawyers.
Yeah, and money. Just lots and lots of money.
But it shouldn't be about a challenge whether or not it's to be successful. It should just not be in the cards for that to be possible.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's the problem with the legal system, though. Anything is possible if you have enough lawyers and enough money. It's a contest, not a competition of facts. You know.
And then
Yeah,
there's
well,
also the element of, like, but you can also just get away with it as long as nobody catches you. Because, like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the front
Yeah.
of my Wii U console right now, and it's got a very rounded rectangle on the front of it. So if Apple wanted to sue Nintendo, I guess there you go. There's your legal battle.
They
But
probably
that
could
wouldn't
if they
be
wanted to, yeah.
beneficial, I guess. And then they'd have to release it with fucking square edges. It's like, everybody just go fuck yourselves if that's what you think is worth doing.
Somebody should just trademark four-sided shapes in general.
Well, because the thing is, it's kind of taught in business, right, that if you have a copyright, you have to protect it, otherwise it's worthless, right?
That's
So-
trademark, not copyright.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah, right. Well, yeah, functionally the same kind of idea. You have to protect
Yeah.
your IP, otherwise it's worthless. And it's like, I think that is like a fundamentally flawed concept as far as it goes in providing for the consumer, which I think is
Yeah.
based on like that's what our system is supposed to be. It's supposed to be best for the consumer. That's what everybody totes and stuff. And it is supposed to be that. Touts, sorry, yes. They're carrying around a tote bag of things.
Okay, you at least knew it then. That's good.
But yeah, so like it's just kind of sad. It's like, I want to play Hex, but now I probably can't because Wizards of the Coast refuses to make a good game. Well, refuses to make a game built from the ground up to be a video game.
Refuses to undermine the system that they've already set up that funnels users along a pre-designated path of monetization.
Yeah.
How about that?
They have to make so much money on those cards for them to be so fiercely protecting it. Like, they must make so much money on those cards now. And you know what?
Sure they do.
I'm honestly not even that surprised, because I remember when we went to PAX East...
Yeah, you've seen their booth, right?
Yeah. Out of all the games, I mean, the Oculus was like a super crazy mega line, but the Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers 2015 was absurdly long. Like, you couldn't get into the line.
It was all the way around, and the line was capped, and we weren't able to play it. And also, they even had a presence in the tabletop game section, too. And also, Austin bought a bunch of decks from them while we were there, I think.
Yeah, it was massive. I
So,
mean,
for this game that we're playing right now,
Yeah.
what did you like play the tutorial or what? Like, what?
We
is
didn't
what
get
are
in.
they displaying?
you
don't know. You didn't ask.
You had
anybody?
to be lucky to get on the line, because they capped the line.
It was like
so
a
that
2-hour
people
wait.
don't- Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
so if you got on, you had to get on a line to get on the line, essentially. And not only that, it was like super secretive too. It was in this big, massive fucking box that closed off all the gameplay video of it. Like, it was just closed off for like a couple people to enjoy on a couple of.
I think they were giving away cards, right? They had some kind of early access giveaway that was making everybody need to be there because they probably were going to sell them all on eBay right after they left.
Yeah.
That's really what it all boils down to with anything that has a huge, massive presence. You get a collectible, you sell it immediately, you make a bunch of money. It's always the gray market. It's not about actually the hype that it looks like there is. It's just the hype that you're going to make $100.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That makes more sense because, like, come on, everybody knows that the next Duels of the Planeswalkers is just going to be the same fucking game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, there's different cards in this Magic
Correction,
game. Holy
it
fuck.
looks exactly the same except for all the diamonds.
Yeah, they did put diamonds all over this.
All over it.
I was so shocked. Like, it was so easy to get online to like Bethesda's Evil Within thing and like get onto like the new Borderlands and stuff. But Duels of the Planeswalkers, nah, yo, everybody fucking needed to be on that line at PAX East.
It was easier to play Bloodborne.
Yeah, it was.
That's crazy.
I was not expecting that at all, but...
Oh, by the way, I just realized you were talking about PAX East. I was talking about PAX Prime. Both of them had the same exact situation.
That's absurd. That is absurd. That's so crazy. But I guess that's why they're protecting the cards so hard, because that must make them so much money. Like, it must... Like, this... What they make from the video games and the online and all the other stuff must be dwarfed completely by the cards for them to hold so true to keeping those cards, you know, as like the pedestal of... Like, the cards to them are like Ferraris. Only like 100 people can have them, and you can't... it has to be washed every day.
It would be like the wealth economic distribution in America. There's like the 1%, which is the Magic cards, and then there's the 99%, and we're the unwashed masses that play Duels of the Planeswalkers.
Right, yeah, I guess so.
It's a weird ass metaphor, but I hope you get what I mean.
Yeah. It's weird, man. But you know, the Magic the Gathering tournaments on Twitch also garner a fuckload of viewers too. Like I think the last one had 50,000 viewers or something, which is
that's not bad.
Respectable. That's
I've
respectable.
never had 50,000 viewers.
Yeah, me either. Actually.
What the hell's with that about? Let's fix that.
I know. Let's get some 50,000 viewers on Twitch to watch us.
We should do a Magic tournament.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you need.
Haven't we actually played Magic on stream before? Like 100 people
so,
watched.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not
a big
Well,
deal.
it wasn't a tournament though.
Yeah,
okay.
Just put tournament in the title. It doesn't even have to actually be a tournament.
Oh, it'll just be bracketed, and it'll be on the left. It'll be all Nick, and on the right it'll be all Rob. So every bracket is just us fighting till we get to the last match of us fighting more.
Final round.
What happens in the event in which like the seeding makes it so that Nick fights Nick and Rob fights Rob?
Oh.
Oh no.
That'd be rough. Be real rough, man.
I have to like hit my head with a hammer between each match. Or like between each round, so that way I don't remember what my hand was on the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
Oh man.
Don't make us hit ourselves in the head with a hammer, guys.
Magic, Ubisoft, EA, Activision, Blizzard, ZeniMax.
This is why I have an indie game channel mostly.
Yeah, exactly. This is really why I have. I've been mostly like I think a really traditional, conventional console gamer most of my life, I think. I played a lot of PC games when I was younger, but I mean, for the most part, I played pretty much only, the top echelon of shit,
Gross.
And it's
yeah,
like,
same.
They've turned me away. They've turned me away, and now I fucking love indie games. Indie games are fantastic.
Well, this is the same sentiment that caused me to start my channel in the first place. It's only magnified in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like they are providing something that AAA games just don't provide anymore, unfortunately.
Well, and don't you want to back the people that actually have the passion to not just try and freaking suck the money out of everybody, that actually have a vision, and they want to advance the industry instead of actually just turning it into the most profitable possible business transaction? That's really cold and cynical, but that's really what it's turned into.
It's really hard for me to get behind AAA games when it feels like there's so much more about being products than being
exactly
artwork,
Yeah.
Like indie games are in general, like they're fun and they're good games, but they're also like they have single person visions behind them. And I think to a great extent that's how AAA games used to be as well.
Yeah.
Like something like Banjo-Kazooie was like, it was interesting and fun, and it had a really high level of tech for the time.
That was the golden
But it was
age.
also, it was also just a really fucking cool, interesting concept for a game that they ran with in a similar way that indie games do today, I think.
Yeah, I think it also has to do with, I think indie games today are developed in a similar manner to the way games were developed when we were kids.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, like on at least like Nintendo Entertainment System, old games like that, like earlier and stuff. Those were usually one-man dev teams.
Yeah.
Those were generally just one guy making a game that he liked, or that he thought was a cool idea. Just making it, or small dev teams. And it's not to say that like a big dev team can't make something incredible, because they totally can, and they have. And I'm not even saying that 100% of AAA games are bad. I've played a couple AAA games recently that have innovated and that are really cool. Like I think Shadows of Mordor is a really good example of something that's like, oh, that's a cool idea. Like it's like the rest of it's mostly derivative, but you had a really cool idea and it made the game actually really interesting. So and you took a chance. It was totally a risky thing to just make something completely new that people potentially couldn't understand. And there are other things that have been coming out too that are kind of like that. Or like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I thought that was really fucking cool. I think that was a really cool standalone. Like the business model was really interesting because it was an expansion basically that was completely standalone. You didn't have to own Far Cry 3 to play Blood Dragon, and it was just like a love letter to the 80s, which isn't necessarily what particularly sells today, but I think it still did fairly well as a game, probably considering whatever dev costs they had, and it was still really fun and really interesting. And so, like, some AAA things can do it, but for the most part, it's hardened my heart. And it's made me cynical about them. And, You see stuff like Assassin's Creed Unity, and it's just like, man.
I want to say it's really important to separate that we're not talking about necessarily the individual people that work at these massive...
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, not at all, yeah.
There's plenty of people that have every bit of heart and soul in them as any one of the people that we talk about in these indie teams. It's when you get involved with the publisher and the corporate bigwigs and the people that have budgets that are way too big for what they need to accomplish, and they're not actually treating these people like people, they're treating them like a bunch of machines that are going to churn something out to meet an investor date. And it's... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, like, it's also just that a bunch of if you have 80 people working on a game and they each have a lot of heart and soul and have a direction they want to put the game in, they're not gonna share a vision.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna come
muddy.
through in the finish. Yeah,
Too
exactly.
many cooks.
It gets muddied and spread out among the whole game, you know.
Well,
like,
and then
no matter how much heart you put into like animating that tree model, it's not going to go through to the whole game. It's not going to have that neat vision, you know. The same way that one person deciding what the game is going to be like does. I think that works a lot better.
And just by the virtue of having to corral all of those people, you end up with one lead person who, why did they get to that position? It's because they were the best at marketing. They were the ones that rose up and had the biggest ability to sell, thereby removing their ability to find the creativity that intrinsically makes those meaningful products.
Yeah.
The whole concept is at odds with itself, in my opinion.
There are some, though, that kind of break that mold, although I will totally agree
but they
that
succeed
it's for the
in
most
spite.
part, like,
they succeed in spite of
right,
this mechanism.
Yeah, but you can look at like a Cliffy B or a Ken Levine kind of guy, where generally they stick as the creative lead and they pretty much apply their vision to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are totally
too.
succeeding out of spite, in spite of the model, as opposed to because of the model.
Yeah,
which is sad.
It's very vindicating to have this conversation, because we've had it in the past too, and I think you were kind of taking the contrary position before, so you've kind of come around a little.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I totally agree that I think that there's...
Well, maybe it was framed differently then, but
perhaps,
it might be worth looking back through the old episodes to see some of these discussions again. I wish I had tagged them with more granular information about what we we talk.
That'd be interesting,
that would
real
be
hard
interesting
to watch back the hour and
like
a half.
Like a podcast.
Yeah.
But it is basically a podcast at this point.
Well, that's what podcasts do, though. They'll be like, these are the games we discussed and the shit we talked about.
Right, yeah. No, it's AAA. It's a sad time, man. I used to love them so much, and I still like. That's the thing. Is like lots and lots of money doesn't. Like, lots and lots of money doesn't equal good game, right? Like, we've totally established that.
It almost seems to go in the other
years,
direction.
Right?
More money usually equals a lesser good game, in my opinion.
Sometimes I think that's true. But I think if it is treated correctly, lots of money can mean, like, a better game, you know?
It can mean a more ambitious game.
It can mean a more ambitious... I mean, like, imagine the $150 million in the hands of, like, you know... some indie visionary. Yeah, right. Yeah, something like that. I don't think he would even actually want to use all that money.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't.
You know what that would do, though, to your vision? You have so much money, you can do literally anything. Sometimes it's the challenges that you face that make you really structure a final goal that makes more sense. Yeah. If you have no challenges, you could do literally anything, and thereby you wouldn't end up with as much of a meaningful product some of the time.
Oh yeah, Binding of Isaac is a good example of that, actually. Really, like, because he was just kind of rushing that game out to make a quick summer game before Tommy got back from his vacation, right? So you know, yes, necessity is totally the mother of invention, absolutely. But you know, there have been so many games too where it's like time constraints or money constraints. You know, how many games do you know of, like, where they said we couldn't finish this part, we didn't have enough time.
Assassin's Creed
we didn't have enough budget. Yeah, right. we didn't have enough money. We didn't stuff like that.
They should add co-op.
They should really add the co-op in, like the missions. They have you can go online with people. That's pretty nice, but they don't have any of the actual co-op. There's no cooperative elements.
It sounds like they needed another fucking year to work on that game. Honestly, like, it should have come out holiday 2015.
Yeah, well, you can only make a game in a year now, Nick. I don't know if you knew this. That's how all games
but you have to hire
now.
like 3 different developers to make one game each year, so that way they have 3 years to do it.
Yeah, why do they even have this stupid annual?
Honestly, the new Call of
nonsense?
Duty is actually pretty good.
Yes, It seems pretty good, actually.
So that is kind of an important point also, that for some reason every now and then you get a hit in the pile of misses. So, you know, good on them.
If you keep on churning out a game a year for that long, you've got to get something, right?
Eventually you get better at doing it. That's kind of like punk rock. Punk rock started in
Sledgehammer's first, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, punk rock started in the 70s with like, you know, a bunch of kids who didn't know how to play their instruments and were just mad at the world, right? And punk rock kind of died years later because
Until it found jazz.
people, yeah, actually it found noise rock like Sid Vicious or what's his face, sorry, Johnny Rotten, but no, like punk rock kind of died years later because they got good at their instruments. And it's like, it's like you know, you play a guitar for 5-6 years, you're gonna get better at it, and they couldn't play that shitty sound that they used to have. Shitty sound, I mean, not as in bad. I actually really like punk rock from the 70s, but
you had to add the from the 70s there, otherwise you'd have a whole different conversation.
Well, yeah, because if you're talking about like punk rock from the 90s, which whatever that was called, you know, you have like Green Day is supposedly punk rock.
That's pop punk. Although that's a totally different genre of pop punk than we have in the 2000s, honestly. So
yeah, punk evolved so much. Like it just fucking blew up into a million different things. There's like New York hardcore and fucking the oi rock stuff, and yeah, there's like a million.
We've been down this road before, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the early punk rock stuff, like Television, like early Black Flag, Bad Brains. That stuff's beautiful. It's not really beautiful, but it's nice to dance to.
It's energetic. It's dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what video games used to be, guys. And then eventually they became Green Day.
Oh.
I'm sad.
That is way overly reductive, I think, but yeah, still kernel of truth. In certain pockets, it's still just as alive, if not more alive than it ever was, and I think that's what we want to encourage as a bunch of content providers, hopefully, is that we can find these people and give them the exposure that they deserve.
Totally. Actually, to further that analogy, when I was in high school, I would totally go hang out at local punk shows in, like, you know, Brooklyn and in Bed-Stuy and the Lower East Side. We'd go to local band punk shows, and that was great. That was like punk is still alive in the city, just nobody's listening to it. There's like 30 people.
How do you get from that to not liking metal? Because we've discussed this a lot of times, and you've not had any interest in the music I like.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that, like, while I like that stuff, when I'm there is no chance in hell I will ever fucking put that in my headphones and walk down the street. Well, I mean, sometimes I do, but like very rarely would I do something like that. For the most part, I like the experience, the energy of the room kind of thing. I would totally go to a metal show with you, to be honest. Like, I'm sure I would love the shit out of that. That would probably be amazing. I went to a Gwar concert once, and that was fucking awesome.
Well, that's a very different whole thing than most metal shows.
Yeah. No, I know, but still, like, I think I'd still enjoy the atmosphere, but I don't think I'd listen to the music, really.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I think we should wrap this episode up.
Yeah, that sounds good. We're at an hour and 2 minutes.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. We had a great time. Hopefully you did as well. We do new episodes of this Mondays and Fridays, and you'll have everybody's perspectives linked in my video, at least, and channel links, at least, should be in everybody's. So make sure you check us all out if you haven't already, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, everybody.